Hi, Shashwat here. These are my lockdown diaries. I'm there at my home, sitting here, possibly 6th day of lockdown, and I thought, why not make a documentation of our experience right now here. Thanks to coronavirus, we are all trapped inside, and we are trying to figure out how things are. In true sense, something like this is truly unprecedented. If you see, our fathers and grandfathers, they had their own cases of mega events, the wars that India fought. So I used to keep hearing about all those cases of those blackouts that used to be there, or even the times when there were things like the plague or plague in Surat, or any communal tensions and all. We used to have these periods of curfew, but nothing like this. The problem with this is there's nothing determinate here. We don't know how much long this is gonna go. We don't know how the resolution will be. We have no clue that we are safe sitting inside the whole home because we need to get those supplies out. We are scared of everyone and anyone right now. So this has become a very thing, and the worst cases, this is something that is impacting all across the world. So if you see, even the most advanced countries, they are unable to deal it. US, over 100,000 cases right now, the highest number. Whole of Europe, the white men, right? Guns, germs and steel. If you remember how the white men conquered the world, but look at them, how they are completely, the economic scenarios, the countries have been brought down to knees. Case with Italy, the case with Spain, the case with France, all across the world you're hearing this. And is there an end to it? We don't know. There are some news that China is now trying to come back up. You have the case with, I was seeing some visuals today of the metro system starting back in Wuhan and everything. And there are a lot of conspiracy theories as well about how China did this deliberately, and I really don't subscribe to it. It's an epidemic of a scale and size that we never could have imagined. Sometimes it almost feels like we're living in a Hollywood movie right now. All those movies that you keep seeing about disaster movies. It almost seems like a part. So this whole thing is, my video is about to just document these journeys and possibly talk about that. Today, if you see, there were a lot of news as usual about how bad the things are. But one news stood out for me today, and that news was from Japan. So if you see Japan, my personal views about this country, and we all hold that views, is largely that Japanese people are one of the most courteous, tradition-following, rule-abiding citizens that you have, right? They have a very strong social-cultural bond, which helps them to cope up with crisis like this. So one of the reasons that was said that they were doing relatively good in terms of this epidemic was because the way the society functions. They kind of they are very amenable to each other. They'll keep their distance, they'll keep that thing, they understand what the implications are. But suddenly, if you see, in the past few days, the numbers have really increased. And this has very strangely happened after the Tokyo Olympics 2020 has been postponed to next year possibly, and suddenly you see the numbers rising. So there's a viewpoint that actually the Japanese government was trying to hide those numbers, or trying to curtail those numbers, simply because they wanted the Tokyo Olympics to not be impacted. And now, since that has happened, the truth is finally up. So there were reports of, suddenly there were reports, couple of days back, they were talking about how the wondrous thing, how Japan is able to control it. And now you see the other aspect of it, how there are scores and scores of people out there on the streets in Tokyo. The government has not really imposed a very stringent kind of a lockdown. The restaurants are open, the public transport is going on. They have a annual festival of cherry blossoms right now, so they had scores and scores of people getting together, and suddenly you realize that all the things that we were all praising and all hoping that would be a great model is not really the way it functions. And this brings me back to the case of India. You know, India, we have been talking about how the people are not following the rules, how they are not adhering to it. But there's something about, you know, the scale and size. And talking about Japan is all the more crucial if you see, because Japanese, their demography is very tilted towards the senior citizens, right? So COVID virus also, the mortality rate is higher in the senior age group. Japanese has one of the highest number of old people in the world, percentage wise. So they should be all the more worried about this thing. And yet, if in some manners they are not able to, you know, comprehend or deal with it, what hope does the world have? In that comparison, if you see, India has done relatively well. So there are a lot of things people would say that, we don't have our testing, which I completely agree. We really need to scale up our testing. We really need to do many things in different aspects. But on a broader perspective, we seem to have been doing well as of now, as of today. This is the first day that I am talking about. With coronavirus, you never know. Things can change in a matter of 2-3 days. So, you know, I'm talking good today, it just might go, you know, all hell might break loose by tomorrow or day after. You just need this thing to explore. If you see Italy and all the countries that are there 1,000 people are dying in a day. In that comparison, India has been, you know, pretty decent. Yes, there are a lot of things that are happening. There are a lot of economic hardships. There are thousands and lakhs of migrant workers that are trudging their way to home, and they are going through a lot of pain and trauma. As individuals, we all are going through. There's a lot of, we don't know what is going to be the impact after this whole thing passes away. The kind of economic things that will happen, there's no surety about that. So in that sense, if you see, yes, there are a lot of things, but yes, we seem to have, you know, somehow credited to whomsoever, to the government, to the administration, to God for that matter, but we seem to have done, you know, touch wood, a little better as of now. On a personal note, you know, I just am trying to do a lot of many things. I'm reading a very interesting book right now, trying to finish it. I've been wanting to finish it for quite many years now. Finish it 3-4 times. The Sixth Extinction. I'm trying to write as many blogs as I can, or as many articles as I can, as is creatively possible. And I'm trying to make myself useful. The most important aspect right now is to keep your mind fresh, keep your mind occupied, keep your exercise in a manner. There are a lot many things happening. You know, there are a lot many online courses that are there. There are a lot many. YouTube is a great university. You should do that. I'm trying to learn Photoshop for that matter. So there are a lot many things that you can do. Take it as a period of learning. Take it as a period of introspection. Take it as a period of creative outflow, and take it as a period of spending time. Take it as a period of, you know, just being yourself. You know, you don't get this time, right? You're traveling through the day, you're working through you're always bothered about the office. Right now the office can't touch you, or they don't expect anything out of you at the moment. So make use of that, and try to be sane, and try to be as good as you can. So that's about it from me today. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm very bad at keeping commitment, but I'll try to do this time, and I'll see you tomorrow. So bye bye, take care, wash your hands, and catch you again. Bye.